All right, guys, welcome back to the 7th episode of News with David. Now, I am going to show you an absolute beatdown. Okay, now I think this lady's name is Representative Luna. Not really sure what state she's from, but this lady is a beast. Okay, now she's talking to a Twitter executive about how he was having communications through this backdoor cloud service called Jira, and how he was using that backdoor service to allow the FBI to come into Twitter and censor posts that were being posted by Americans, basically violating their First Amendment right. But first, let me take you to show you what Jira is. Okay, so Jira is a software development tool used by agile teams. Now, so so let me give you a little background about myself. I have a degree in computer science, so I know how all this stuff works. Okay, even though this is a development tool, right, that is supposed to be used between teams, okay, you can actually turn this into a secure chat service to where you can link, as it says, up to 10 users. Of course, you can go higher than that. Okay, you can actually buy more storage and stuff like that, right? And you can connect this to programs or servers like Linode, DigitalOcean, and you could turn this into a cloud server to where basically you could do the same thing that Hillary Clinton was doing with her emails, where they were putting it into a server and to be deleted whenever they got ready, right? So I'll just kind of scroll through the page and let you kind of see it. Okay, so this thing could be used as for spreadsheets, chat services, disappearing chat services. So basically, they can, excuse me, I'm sorry, they can chat in real time and the messages will be instantly deleted. Okay, so if these people had any common sense, that's what they would have did. Actually, I think they tried that, if I remember what the video actually says from Miss Luna here. But let's go ahead and hop into this video. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you guys listen to this woman absolutely destroy this dude. I mean, she gives it to him rough. And this is a Twitter executive, okay, who's a pedophile, by the way. But here we go.
Mr. Roth, have you communicated with government officials ever on a platform called Jira? Yes or no?
Hold on, guys. I know that it might be low. Let me turn it up for you on the system here. So this way you guys can actually hear this, okay?
Mr. Roth,
We'll start it over.
have you communicated with government officials ever on a platform called Jira? Yes or no? Real quick answer. We're on the clock.
Not
yes
to
or
the
no?
best of my recollection.
Not to
no.
your recollection? Great. If you did, in the event, communicate, who would have had access to this platform?
That's the nature of my confusion.
Okay.
Jira
Did you ever speak to government officials on Jira regarding taking down social media posts?
Again, not to the best of my recollection.
Can you explain to me why the federal government would ever have interest in communicating through Jira, mind you, a private cloud server, with social media companies without oversight to censor American voices? I want to let you know that this is a violation of the First Amendment, and the federal government is colluding with social media companies to censor Americans. Mr. Chairman, I ask for unanimous consent to submit these graphics into record. And Mr. Roth, I'm going to refresh your memory for you. This flowchart behind me.
ordered.
Thank you, Chair. This flowchart shows the following federal agencies, social media companies, Twitter, leftist nonprofits, and organizations communicating regarding their version of misinformation using Jira, a private cloud server. On this chart, I want to annotate that the Department of Homeland Security, which has the following branches: Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, also known as CISA, Countering Foreign Intelligence Task Force, now known as the Misinfo, Disinfo, and Malinformation, MDM. This was, again, used against the American people. The Election Partnership Institute, or Election Integrity Partnership, EIP, which includes the following: Stanford Internet Observatory, University of Washington Center for Informed Public, Graphica, and Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Lab, and potentially, according to what we found on the final report by EIP, the DNC. The Center
Okay. Now, I noticed that the video's lagging. I'm sorry about that, but you can still hear the audio really clear. Let me kind of break down what's going on to you, okay? The DHS, CISA, the CFITF were all linked in to this Jira server that we just talked about. It was a cloud server, and they're hosting it through this Jira platform, okay? The social media companies up here were going into the Jira server, given access to the Center for Internet Security, NASS, the NASED, all of these other groups, EIP, all these other people had access to this server where they were storing the information for people who they wanted to be banned, shadow banned, deleted, arrested, everything you can think of. Okay, I just kind of wanted to give you the kind of breakdown of that because she went through that kind of fast. But basically, all of these groups had access to Twitter, the back end of Twitter, to where they can moderate the site through this Jira platform. Okay, this is big news, guys. Like, you need to share this video. Okay, but this is huge. If you haven't seen this yet, I mean, this is groundbreaking. These people could be charged with, I mean, these are serious crimes they're doing right here. Okay, but here we go.
Center for Internet Security, CIS, a nonprofit funded by DHS, the National Association of Secretaries of State, also known as NASS, and the National Association of State Election Directors, NASED. And in this case, because there are other social media companies involved, Twitter. What do all of these groups, though, have in common? And I'm going to, again, refresh your memory. They were all communicating on a private cloud server known as Jira. Now, the screenshot behind me, which is an example of one of thousands, shows on November 3rd, 2020, that you, Mr. Roth, a Twitter employee, were exchanging communications on Jira, a private cloud server, with CISA, NASS, NASED, and Alex Stamos, who now works at Stanford and is a former security officer at Facebook, to remove a posting. Do you now remember communicating on a private cloud server to remove a posting? Yes or no?
I wouldn't agree with the characterization.
I don't care if you agree. This is your stuff. Yes or no, did you communicate with a private entity, the government agency, on a private cloud server, yes or no?
The question was if I
yes or no. Yeah, I'm on time. Yes or no?
Ma'am, I don't believe I can give you a yes or no.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you did, and we have proof of it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is joint action between the federal government and a private company to censor and violate the First Amendment. This is also known, and I'm so glad that there's many attorneys on this panel, joint state actors. It's highly illegal. You are all engaged in this action, and I want you to know that you will be all held accountable. Ms. Gaddy, are you still on CISA's Cybersecurity Advisory Council? Yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay. For those who have said that this is a pointless hearing, and I just want to let you guys all know, we found that Twitter was indeed communicating with the federal government to censor Americans. I'd like to remind you that this was all in place before January 6th. So to say that these mechanisms weren't in place and to make it about January 6th, I want to let you know that you guys were actually in control of all of the content, and clearly we have proof of that. Now, if you don't think that this is important to your constituents and the American people from those saying that this was a pointless hearing, I suggest you find other jobs. Chairman, I yield my time.
Holy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about the video lagging. I don't know why it was lagging like that. It was out of sync for some reason, but you heard it. You heard it. Okay, so the guy she's talking to is Joel Roth, okay? She said he was an employee at Twitter. He was actually an executive at Twitter, but I guess he was an employee too. But so what you saw there was collusion between the federal government, Twitter, working together to censor posts to sway the 2020 election. And when they got caught, okay, so I'm just trying to link all this stuff to together for you, okay? So when they got caught doing this, when Elon Musk released all the Twitter files and stuff like that, they tried to say that they done it after January 6th to stop more insurrectionists trying to overthrow the government. So they wanted to let the government monitor Twitter so they could see who was saying what, doing what. Turns out this was in place years beforehand. Okay. So what you're looking at is the state, the government, the federal government, the big brother system, the new world order. They were coming in to your accounts, accessing your information, your pictures, your phone numbers, your IP addresses, your personal devices, through this JIRA system, and they were permanently banning you, restricting you, shadow banning you, collecting your data, collecting your information, collecting your metadata, which is extremely important because that is super illegal. It is illegal for this to happen. And we're not talking about like just illegal, oh, slap on the wrist. We're talking life in prison. I'm not joking, guys. Look it up. This is some serious business. This is not a game. We need to spread the word about this. So if you're watching this video, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit follow, make sure you hit that share button. This is extremely important. You have to share this video. We have to get this out to everybody. This is one of the biggest scandals in American history. And it's not even, I mean, it's up there, but like in the top 3. Okay. If it's not number 1, it's definitely top 3. All right. And Miss Luna here, she did a good job. And I know she was on restricted time, and I get that. But man, we needed a real breakdown of this. Okay. So that's why I tried to take a little bit extra time to kind of break this down for you and kind of let you know what was going on a little bit more, considering that I have a background in this field. I know exactly how this stuff works. But like I said, make sure you share this video. Make sure you hit like. Tell your friends about this. We have to get the word out. All right, guys. Thank you very much.